straddling Lake Road.
Are these like the Monstars before they get all the powers? Is that the backfield that the Lions are with?
Preseason rhetoric, I got the preseason training camp contagion.
In 1.1 miles, turn left onto Weber Road.
I don't want to see James Stewart run 50 times.
At this point, you have to, like guys, the center of Swift. Be careful. He's got a growing issue, and I want to see this team. I know they want to win this year. Are they monsters? Maybe not. But I want to see DeAndre Swift grow and be the future running back of this team. So don't mess with him in preseason. He's got a growing problem. Shut him down.
Hawkins was the other guy we talked about. The ticket texture said he is an elite. Just advanced all of stuff. Hawkins has a big left twitch back. Like everyone, as long as you want, except for the O-line, and the best in the league, could be this offense that's going to finish.
I'm interested to see Hawkinson this year, the step he takes. This was the key to the step. Second team, tight end, or can he be the best tight end in the NFC? Because one of the reasons he made the Pro Bowl is because of injuries.
I think he could put up a bunch of stats too, because it looks like or sounds like Goff's throwing a lot of short stuff, safety valve, new quarterback, new tight end. That is the relationship that people always cite as your security blanket, get out of jail free card. He could have a ton of targets this year, put up some big numbers.
We're going to talk about Goff later, and I can elaborate on what you just said there, because I think the one hope for this team to potentially have success this year kind of goes through what you just said.
Try and get to that before the hour ends. We've also got news with Heather.
Oh, I have some great stories. There's one about a world record. There's a man who just set a pretty impressive, but also kind of gross world record. You might have heard of this guy. He just set the record for eating a ton of these.
That's coming up next. It's probably gross and 97.1. 97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. A crash is reported 94 westbound before Mount Elliott with a backup now from Chalmers Outer Drive. A new accident has popped up 75 northbound ramp to eastbound 696, also 96 eastbound at Kensington Road. The crash is in the left lane. Protect yourself from the COVID variants by getting fully vaccinated. Discover the facts at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Building a world-class sports station in a world-class sports city.
Baseball returns to its roots on August 12th when the New York Yankees play the Chicago White Sox in the cornfields of Iowa. Make the most out of this historic game with FanDuel Sportsbook's $5 Field of Dingers. Just bet $25 on a same-game parlay with at least 3 legs to unlock a $5 bonus for every home run hit during the game. Lock in your parlay and be a part of history on August 12th. If you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, new users can place your first bet risk-free. That's right, new users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and use the promo code DOUG so they
Turn left onto Weber Road.
Promo code DOUG. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. Minimum bet $25. Maximum bonus $35. First online real money wager for risk-free bet. Refund and bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit expires in 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Tucker Road.
270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket.
With Metro by T-Mobile, an iPhone 12 mini with 5G on us, you rule.
You bet I do. As a handyman hustling to finish my degree, Metro has me covered. I got the latest iPhone 12 mini when I switched, and it's got so many features, like the all-new ceramic shield technology. Now, if I drop my iPhone, it won't set me back. And the best feature yet, that super fast 5G speed. So, whether I'm quickly downloading my digital textbooks on the go, or 4K videos to help build the perfect bookshelf, I've got the latest tech and the speed I need to get the job done right.
Switch to Metro and get an iPhone 12 mini with 5G on us after 3 months when you trade in your device. Powered by the T-Mobile 5G network.
I'm Ali, and that's how I rule my day with Metro.
Qualifying port plan and traded plus tax on rebate price rebate via virtual prepaid MasterCard. Not valid in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Miami, Dade. Video at 480p. See store for details.
Or have you ever thought about
Cisco is at the heart of food and service. Experience the music of Star Wars like never before. The Detroit Symphony takes you to a galaxy far away at Middlebrook Amphitheater on the campus of Oakland University. Friday, August 13th. Music from the Skywalker Saga, as well as Rogue One and Solo, a Star Wars story. Tickets and info at 313 cents.
In half a mile, take a slight right turn onto East Holly Road.
For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Autozone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a charge, we can help with that
At
too.
the next
And
stop
if you need
sign,
new battery,
take a slight
we've got
right
wide
turn.
selection of replacement batteries, starting at just $79.99. And we're the only place you can find proven tough Duralast batteries, including Duralast Platinum with AGM and EFB technology. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. And based on data from the NPD Group 2020.
This is the big deal. Now at healthcare.gov, millions more
At the
people
stop
can
sign,
afford health
take a slight
coverage.
right turn
Due
onto
to
East Holly
COVID
Road.
law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs. These are quality
In
plans.
1.1 miles, turn right to merge onto I-75 South.
15 for a health plan. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The morning rush can be a beautiful thing. With the right granola bar, that is. Take a moment and take in the outdoors with Nature Valley Crunchy Bars.
The next time you're in Vegas, head to the Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip, it's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today
offend anything, no. You guys, as the Delta variant continues to spread across the country, there's a growing number of colleges and universities, some right here in Michigan, that are now requiring proof of a COVID vaccine for students to attend in-person classes. But of course, there's still a lot of people who don't want to get the vaccine, and now they're nervous. Officials are nervous that they may try to cheat the system by going online and buying fake COVID vaccination cards. And there's a lot of websites apparently that you can find pretty easily just by a quick Google search, where you can pay $25 to $100 to get one of these fake vaccine cards. And there's inquiries on several of these sites, and a lot of them come from college students.
I don't agree that you should be required to get this. And I don't want to open up a can of worms here. I personally, I know that's hard to smile. He's like, don't do this, Tom. Please. I don't believe you should be required to get it to do things like this. I've gotten it. I just believe in personal choice.
I believe in personal choice. I also feel like a business, a college, a university should set their policy to protect their people.
Right. This public university versus privates, I think there's arguments to be made there. Our business, personally, they have the right to do it if they want. I just think it's the wrong thing to do.
So far, at least 664 colleges and universities are now requiring this. So it's happening all over the country, and they really don't have a system in place to really double check. I've never seen a fake COVID card. I've never seen anybody's COVID card besides my own. So I mean, I would.
We got them. We were 2 spots away in line when we got back.
Are you serious?
Yes. I think it was the first time I saw you. Yeah. Well, like you said, you lost a bunch of weight. Well, you were an intern a long time ago.
It was 90 pounds ago.
Wow, good for you. That's a lot of weight to lose.
But Rieger took his card out the other day to show somebody in the office. He goes, it's the first time I've taken it out of my wallet since I got it.
Yeah.
It's much like the voter registration card in some ways, you know?
Oh,
they
yeah.
look
It's
pretty
just-
easy to duplicate if you want to.
For sure, and without a doubt. So I'm sure it is happening and has already happened. You might have heard this as well. The Pentagon announced that it will be requiring all members of the U.S. military to get the COVID vaccine by September 15th. Now, according to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, the deadline could actually be pushed up if the FDA gives final approval to the Pfizer vaccine sooner than mid-September. So that deadline may be pushed up. Currently, 70% of military personnel have gotten at least one dose of a COVID vaccine. So there's quite a few people who have already received at least one. And the Army has the most service members who are fully vaccinated, with the Navy and the Air Force not far behind. And the Department of Health and Human Services says, you know what, mandatory vaccines in the military is nothing new. They already require military members to be vaccinated against many different diseases upon arrival and before basic training and prior to deployment.
It's interesting with this because I kind of agree with that, because there's a potential for this thing to be, as crazy as it sounds, weaponized, and then you could be intentionally trying to deplete our military, so I kind of understand that.
I'll move on.
Shut up.
I just want our military.
Coming up at 7:35.
I would love our military to be protected and safe against the disease that is killing you.
You guys, so Nebraska got a ton of rain over the weekend. A ton of rain, and parts of downtown Omaha flooded. You might have seen some of these photos, and this story to me is insane, because there's a lot of people who don't like elevators just because they're claustrophobic. Well, imagine this happening. So there was a group of friends hanging out in an apartment. They're like, let's go check out how bad this flooding really is. Let's go see what's happened. And they all got into an elevator to go down to, the lower level. And they all needed to be rescued, because as soon as they decided to take that elevator, there was actually like a huge jolt, because the elevator hit water where it had flooded so much. And there's a video, because one of the guys in the elevator was taking cell phone video, and water starts pouring into the elevator through like the cracks of the door and through the vents, and this water gets up to their necks. So not only This would be your worst idea.
Yeah, exactly.
This would be it, yes. Okay, so if you're big McDonald's fans, you may have heard of this guy, Donald Gorski, okay? He's from Wisconsin, and he's held the Guinness World Record for the most Big Macs ever eaten since 1999. He was in that movie, Super Size Me. If you've seen Super Size Me, which I feel like so many people have, you'd recognize this guy because he had a very distinct haircut, and it shows him eating all of these Big Macs basically every single day. Well, he hasn't slowed down since that came out. He currently updated his record, which he still holds. He's now eaten 32,340 Big Macs, and he can prove exactly how many he's actually eaten because he keeps the packaging and the receipts for all of that.
How disgusting. Does he let the cheese stay on it?
Or maybe he just keeps the bag.
You should clean it on it because you should eat it. You're supposed to rub your finger on it.
Ew, or a fry through it maybe. I can see you scrape off the cheese like
I
that.
don't know what's more gross, the fact that he ate 32,000 or that he keeps the
the
remains. Because they're remains, that's what they are. It should be set for
But
what
they
it is.
never
This is
go
trash.
bad. They never deteriorate if you've seen any of those. It's so gross. So he first started eating Big Macs in 1972 and has averaged 2 a day since then. Yeah.
I like anything enough to eat twice a day. Nothing, right?
Well, sure. But like healthy things, I could eat 2 apples a day. I could
Get
eat
so sick of it, though.
Really? I could eat 2 bananas a day. Fruit I could eat 2 of every day.
Bananas is probably the one, although I eat a banana every day pretty much.
I do too.
In
It's
10
just for
miles,
potassium
take
and stuff,
exit
but they're not the
75
best
to
for
merge
you,
onto
to be honest with you.
I-75
Sugary
business
Considering my
east
overall
towards Square
diet,
Lake
it's not a
Road.
big deal because I don't eat sweets really, so I'm like, this is a very healthy dessert here that I'm having. But I don't eat 2 bananas usually.
I don't either.
But I don't because then it can cause other problems.
Yes, I don't either, but I have eaten. So fruit, I could eat multiple fruit a day, but other than that, I don't know. I mean, sure, I could. Cereal?
You would get
I could
sick
eat
of it,
cereal
though.
every single
You
meal.
would, but at some point you go, I just want some.
I guess, yes, for this long. Yes, I would definitely get sick of it. Okay, this is great. One more before we wrap up. Have you guys ever planned a surprise that just completely backfired? Didn't go quite as you imagined. This might be more for something with Tom because this is related to children, and this is absolutely hilarious. There's this mother in Oklahoma. She was hosting a birthday party for her 6-year-old daughter, and she was disappointed because something happened with the cake. She wasn't able to get this nice cake that she wanted, so she came up with a backup plan. She actually hired Mrs. Bigfoot, a person dressed as a Sasquatch, but a Mrs. Sasquatch. So she had a bow in her hair, she had a tutu on, to come surprise the kids at the birthday party. Completely backfired. There's video of it, and it is hilarious. So Mrs. Bigfoot walks out from outside. The kids are playing inside. She's got balloons in her hand and waves at them through the window.
Terrifying.
Terrifying! The kids start screaming, running for help, crying. It completely backfired. Eventually, they did kind of warm up, but the mom says the kids are still saying they never want to see that Bigfoot ever again.
Yeah, 6, you gotta go be a little bit older. That's what would be my advice there. You
You need to get a Disney princess for 6 years old. Don't get it.
Yeah, 9, 10, probably 10, and probably boys, maybe more too, boys would
Bigfoot.
find it to be the
Cinderella, Mrs. Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Same family.
Which one should I get?
I've never had a surprise fail. I've been able to pull off quite a few of them. The kids, the big one we did one year was we literally came home from church on a Sunday and said, we're going to Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh, that's cool.
They had no idea.
And the puppy, that was a surprise too,
Yeah, that was
right?
a huge pull.
Oh, and that's amazing.
Yeah, you got to see our puppy videos.
How is she doing, by the way?
Excellent. No, she's great.
Good.
She got potty trained so quick.
Good.
We haven't had an accident in weeks.
Good. I'm so happy to hear.
They're doing good. She likes to dig. That's the one thing.
Yeah, you know what you can do? They say you can put her poop in the hole she digs. I'm serious. And then she won't want to keep digging, although that could be a mess in your house, but whatever.
That's all the news.
That was advice for the day. I'll try it. Just a little one. We'll see how it works.
Coming up next, Tom has a very simple question regarding Jared Goff. We will get into it. It's 97.1.
Thanks to being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. touch after touch. When used as directed, Microband 24. Touch after touch. It doesn't give up.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mighty Thorough National Benefit Plan. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbthealth.com.
Better bets, bet smarter, and beat the books today. Download the BetQL app today to better your chances. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Good morning, everybody. Stoney and Jansen both have the day off. Depleted, is I think what you said earlier today.
That's why when I come
Use
in.
the right two lanes to take exit
Extra
75 to
time,
merge onto I-75 Business Loop
I'm
North
Jim
towards Square Lake
with
Road.
us as well, and we've been talking about the Lions' first preseason game coming up on Friday, and we got news that Jared Goff, along with the rest of the starters, are going to play the entire first quarter. And this is risky. This is not
Take the
typically
exit.
what you want to see with your starting quarterback being put in harm's way, but I put it to you this way. He's a new
In
quarterback
2.2
in a new
miles,
scheme, and
turn left onto Lazar Road.
I don't know that he's a franchise guy. I don't know that he's 6-year season on a season where you're going to be an underdog 17 different games this year. But you have a question about Jared Goff and where Lions fans' heads at, what they're rooting for this season.
Yeah, I think this is the million-dollar question facing the Detroit Lions this year to a degree. Maybe not from the organization standpoint, but from the
Stay in the left
fans.
3 lanes.
You know, a lot of people always say I never, in the end, am sitting there rooting against my team on Sunday. And I would say there's 1% at best out there that would probably be rooting against them this year. But the bigger picture question here with this is, do you want Jared Goff to play well? And
Such a
that's
simple question,
so,
right?
So simple, but it has so many layers to it. Because obviously the answer is yes, because you want the team to do well and win. But when you start peeling it back, with that comes
In 1
Who's your
mile,
quarterback
turn
next
left
year?
onto Lazar Road.
he plays well next year. What is well, by the way?
Right, I
We'll get
just
into
said
that.
the loaded question that is, what is well? Because if he plays well in the sense that they've designed this offense with a good tight end, a good O-line, and potentially a good running game. I say potentially because we've been waiting since Barry Sanders for this team to have a real fear ground threat. But let's say they achieve all that, and he does the dinks and dunks we're hearing about in practice, and he manages the game, and he gets them to first down, and he moves the sticks. That's called game managing. You don't make $30 million to game manage. If you lock him in beyond just this year and next, because he plays quote-unquote well, you've given your offense a ceiling. You've limited where you can go, whereas I look at it and say the best thing that could happen to the Lions this year, and I want good things for the Lions, is for Dan Campbell to breathe fire and get the defense going this year, to have them be a more physical team in the trenches offensively, for them to really turn a corner with how they play, but have Goff just come a little short. His physical limitations to hold them back, for it to be very obvious that they're getting better, but they need a quarterback. So my answer to this very simple question is, I don't want Goff to play well. I would love for him to be a scapegoat, because everything else has gotten so much better that they get the draft pick to draft a more dynamic player at quarterback.
Is there a guy in college football right now that you think is without a doubt, a franchise quarterback?
I mean, without a doubt, no. I mean, I think Spencer Rattler's everybody's favorite because people are obsessed with these off-platform throws with what Patrick Mahomes has done at the NFL level, and he certainly feels like a guy who can do some of that.
I think it's a huge year for him. I'm not the biggest fan yet, but I can see what you're saying.
If he has a big year in college, it will cement himself. He's got the talent to be the number 1 pick. Doesn't have big size, and that's the same thing with Sam Howell, who's the other college player everybody looks to and says, boy, he's transformed North Carolina. He's got an interesting year because he doesn't have his big play running backs, plural, receivers, plural, and he's got an O-line. So we're going to see, can he upgrade that offense with his presence this year? But those are the 2 guys to look to.
I think Sam Howell will be a starter in the NFL, but beyond that, that's not necessarily...
Will he be better than Jared Goff, I think, is an interesting question.
Exactly. I think Clemson's QB, which I will not try to pronounce, you're the more radio pro here, but I don't even know if you got it off the tip of your head. DJ, I just call him QB DJ.
DJ Ungle, yeah, exactly.
So anyways, though, to the point here with Goff, though. Okay, so let's say he plays well this year, and he's your starting quarterback next year. Then, if he plays well next year, and let's say this team is above 500, what do you do then? Because now you're starting to get...
They would keep him because at that point he is an established quarterback for a winning
Okay, so this is what
And I think that's as I said, you get stuck. If you think Sam Howell could be just okay, an NFL starter, he would make significantly less than Jared Goff on a rookie contract, which would give you the ability to go out and add some really big pieces on defense or wide receiver or running back. What are you going to do to put the team over the top?
Well, one of the things that's happened recently in the NFL is that, let's say Goff plays well. I think there's a chance here that he could have, this could be a career-changing thing for him.
Absolutely.
Where he takes it personally, and it kind of makes him go to the next level because he was completely scapegoated by the Rams. I've never been the biggest fan of him, but it's been proven that you can win with him. It's been proven that you can get to a Super Bowl with him. I think this is what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell would say if you made them, you gave them truth serum, and you said, what's the plan here? They want him to play well, and they want to try to win with him. They know he's limited. They're going to do play action a ton. What you said about the dinking and dunking, they're going to pick their spots. They're going to use Hawkinson on play action deep up the middle. And maybe, I think there's a chance Quintez Cephas could be a pretty good NFL receiver. If that is what plays out, they're a hell of a lot closer. And ultimately, if Goff keeps playing well, guess what game you play?
Trade.
No.
What?
You play until you see how this materializes. Let's say they get borderline to where the Rams were at their most success. Let's say they get in the playoffs and win a playoff game with him, which he has done. I know it's crazy for the Lions, but he's done it. What if they do that and you start playing the franchise tag, which is I think what everybody's going to say here, there is no way I want to give Jared Goff a contract extension, right? Unless he absolutely, goes crazy and turns into a stud.
Right, but that's the thing. If he were to go out and transform himself into an elite quarterback, yeah, you got no complaints.
I don't think that can happen.
But I don't think it can happen either. I think it's a very limited offense with Jared Goff. You have to have a lot around him, and they did in L.A. They had a lot around him in L.A. They had the Offensive Player of the Year in the backfield. They had a couple good receivers, a very advanced scheme, and he was able to come in on a rookie contract with a loaded roster around him. You start paying him, and they paid him. It limits the kind of team you can put around Jared Goff. He does not have the physical tools, a cannon of an arm, great legs. He doesn't have the ability
At the light, turn left
to
onto
play
Autozone Road.
well enough where you can get away with a limited roster around him.
And so what we're saying here, I think in some ways, is number one, if he's going to have success and something this is going to work with him, the offensive line has got to be turned into a top 5 offensive line. It may not be this season, but next year. And guess what else? DeAndre Swift has to be a true one. I like Williams as the tandem, but DeAndre Swift has to be a true one. Guess what else has to happen? TJ Hawkinson has to be considered for the Pro Bowl every year.
Right.
That's how this concoction works.
You got to find a number one receiver outside of him. And Tom, as we talk about having 3 first-round offensive linemen and a great tight end and potentially a great running back, and you got to pay all those guys. And if Jared Goff's making franchise QB money, but he's not a franchise changer, I think that's where the problems. And that's where LA got. And they said, you know what, he's just not good enough. We got to ship him out of town. We'll attach 2 first-round picks to do it. I don't want the Lions to find themselves there. If he's a bridge, if he's temporary, if he's going to be the transition quarterback and try really hard and help establish a culture, that's what I want for him. I don't think you should want him to play well enough where he becomes stability at quarterback, because you can go so much higher if you have a top pick.
You don't want to go through this over the next couple of years. Or basically, in some ways, you're going down, Matthew Stafford.
I was just going to say that.
And
he's stuck.
All these ifs that we're saying, I mean, the wild card is him personally and how this potentially has changed him.
We got some calls I want to get to. 248-539-9797. It's a very simple but loaded question. Do you want Goff to play well? We'll get into it next. It's 97.1.
Well, summer's heating up once again, and so's the sports betting action at BetMGM. We got action tonight, Cade versus Jalen. You want to bet on Summer League? You can get in on it right now. Sign up using bonus code TOMM1000, and your first wager is totally risk-free up to $1,000. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in MLB, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. And when you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code TOMM1000 to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. It's a new customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by St. Joseph Mercy. A couple of crashes still working to clear this morning, including one now on the right shoulder, 94 westbound at Van Dyke with the backup from Chalmers Outer Drive. 96 eastbound at Kensington Road, left side is still blocked by an earlier crash. Backups continue near US 23, so you may want to use Grand River to get around it. Slowdowns continue in the work zones, 275 between South Huron Road and 94, as well as 275 northbound from Cherry Hill to past Ford Road. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Lions host the Buffalo Bills. Pre-game Friday at 6 on 97.1 The Ticket.
St. Joe's urges all eligible members of the community to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Supplies and appointments are available. Learn more at stjoeshealth.org/vaccine. For St. Joe's, I'm Lila Lazarus.
Science with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sponsored by Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-899-GOLD to get your free investment guide. If you think legalized sports gambling is everywhere these days, folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yesterday, the Arizona Cardinals announced that BetMGM will open a sportsbook inside State Farm Stadium in 2022. Last Thursday, the Commission on Chicago Landmarks unanimously approved the Cubs' plans to build a two-story sportsbook adjacent to Wrigley Field to be run by DraftKings. And one largely overlooked detail in the NFL's new $113 billion media rights deal is that the league reserved the option to reopen negotiations 7 years into the 11-year contract. So why would they want that, you ask? Potentially to cash in on the gambling boom, as baseball might be planning in reported talks with Barstool Sports. I'm Homer Esiason.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late, and that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We'll help you find everything you need to do the job right. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Get in zone, AutoZone. Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
What am I driven by? Probably the music that keeps me going every day. I'm definitely more social now than I was. I met a lot of different people, different cultures. I'm more well-rounded. Being a part of these groups has helped me with speaking in front of people, with performing. Next year, I'm traveling to France with the group that I'm in. Because of my HFC education, I'm working on pushing towards future goals. I am future-driven.
What are you driving at? Find your future faster at Henry Ford College. Apply now at hfcc.edu.
We asked people in Michigan why they got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because I am 24 weeks pregnant and we wanted to protect our baby boy.
I'm vaccinated to protect my family, protect my friends, and help our community.
Because I believe in the science.
Why did you get vaccinated?
My best friend couldn't. She caught COVID and passed away the day before her birthday. That is my why.
Be able to hug my mom again. I haven't been able to hug her in over a year.
I want to hug my grandma again. And I'm ready to get back to somewhat normal.
All the vaccines have been tested for safety and are trusted by doctors.
I'm vaccinated. I'm coming to give you a big hug. I love you, Mom.
You've got your why. Now find a vaccine near you at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. August is a great month to help out the environment by improving your gas mileage. Make sure your tires are properly inflated, and heavy items like golf clubs aren't stored in your trunk. Take your car in for a tune-up to ensure it's running at peak performance. And when the weather is nice, walk or bike to your destination to enjoy a beautiful summer day. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. There are no sweeter sounds. Hear the game. All the play-by-play all season is on 97.1 The Ticket and the Odyssey app. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Tom's got a simple question, bit of a loaded question. 97.1 Jim Costa, Tom the Governor Milliken, filling in for Stoney and Jansen today. The simple question, do you want Goff to play well? And it's simple because, well, yeah, I want the Lions quarterback to play well, but the implication and what does well mean? And there's certainly a belief that, at least on my side of it, that Goff is a limited quarterback. And he ran into a wall in LA when they realized, oops, we paid him too much money, we can't build a team around him.
He needs help. The question is how much help does he need? I'm having a tough time answering that yet, because virtually every quarterback needs help besides the elite of the elite.
Even they do too.
But they usually can't win the Super Bowl the year they don't have help. You know, like the Rodgers and the Bradys. Brady needed help, man.
Elway didn't win without Terrell Davis.
Exactly. And he's one of my favorites of all time.
How about Peyton Manning when he set records in Denver that one season and they didn't win the Super Bowl? Then the very next year, he could barely throw a 10-yard out, but they had a great defense and he won a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, they had Von Miller, who was the best defensive player in the league that year. So
even Tom Brady, when he wins his Super Bowls, they got a top 10 defense in both New England and in Tampa. Aaron Rodgers, the only Super Bowl he's ever won, they had a top 10 defense.
But these are the guys that can still get you to the AFC Championship game or whatever without that help. I don't think Jared Goff or the Matthew Staffords, the Matt Ryans of the world can do that. You know, I just don't.
So here's the thing: if you're going to,
the question is how much help does he need? Because the thing is, if you've got to pay him a decent money, he's making good money now.
He makes more than Stafford makes.
Yeah, exactly.
So think about that.
But I don't think anybody would call in and say, "I want him to play so well that he gets a contract extension."
That he sticks around and they don't draft a QB.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the question of do you want Goff to play well really hits that tough answer. 248-539-9797. We've got Martin and Wixom. Martin, you're on 97.1.
Boy, let me set the table here. I am the 1% that wants to see this team not do well. Because of the fact I want draft picks, I want to build this team. Small fry is not the future of this team. Okay? It's not going to be good enough to beat Aaron Rodgers. I think Canton, Cisco, Seattle, the Rams, I think three of those teams are making the playoffs. You know they're going to get one out of every division. And we're not beating Aaron Rodgers. We couldn't do it with that before. I think he's a better quarterback than Goff is. Why would I want to pay small fry more money for a quarterback than to try to build for the future? Okay, don't forget one thing that happened to every player that came from another team. They've been lionized. And when they get lionized, they do well here. Okay?
We were trying to not include that today.
Let's just be honest. They get lionized. That's all they have to do. From New England, I can't think of his name where it's not this team needs to build. I love what the GMs are doing. Don't get me wrong. I think they're good people. I think they're smart. I think but we ain't winning with Goff. I don't think any team can win with Goff. That's why the Rams traded. The Rams duo was up, and the Rams are a better organization and a better team than we are. They've done more than we've done in 50 years, and I just don't see it. I don't want him to do well. For every Lions fan wanting them to go 5-12 or 6-11, what is it going to do for us? It ain't going to set a future up. Why are we going to give him
Martin
when we find a fresh quarterback that's young, get him cheap, and build the team with other players and prospects that we can bring in? So why would we want them to do well? Where is it going to take us? If it doesn't get me to the championship game, hell no, I don't want to see them do well.
Because we've seen this team be in purgatory a little bit, where they had a quarterback in Matthew Stafford, but they couldn't go to another level. And you don't want to get stuck with a quarterback who can't get you to another level.
I think the one thing with Martin I take exception, I think he's saying Goff's worse than he really is here. I mean, look, I am not the biggest fan of him, but you can't deny he took the team to the Super Bowl. Did he completely take it? Okay, no. But that game in New Orleans, okay, yeah, were they the beneficiary of one of the worst pass interference calls of all time? They were. But, you know, Gurley was awful in that game, remember? He got hurt. You know, their guy that kind of carried them all year. And Goff led that team. They were down double digits in New Orleans in that game. When did Matthew Stafford ever do that?
Tom, let me ask you this question. Has Jared Goff ever thrown more than one touchdown in a single playoff game?
I would say the answer is no.
The answer is no. He's never thrown more than one touchdown in a playoff game. So I just find it really hard to believe that this is some great QB who goes and slays dragons and wins big games. They had a really good team in Los Angeles.
I'm doing this on the fly, sorry, but do you have his QB rating playoff?
Yeah, I have his QB rating in the playoffs. It's 79.9.
That's not good. No,
Stafford's is higher.
Yeah, you need to be not in as many games, but I think Goff already played more playoff games.
He already has played more playoff games for everybody that makes the comparisons.
But you want that to be 95-ish.
So it's why I've made the case similar to what the last caller did. I want this football team to improve with Goff being the clear fall guy. I don't want him to play well. I want the Lions to play well. I want them to be limited by their QB, to find themselves near the top of the draft, and to find someone who can be a franchise guy.
I think what's happening here is my fan in me is coming out, and I want to see it work. You know, I don't want to go down that, we're going to be god awful and start the QB roulette. You know, and I think that's one of the ways you can win now in this league is hey, all right, you suck, you take a QB. If he doesn't work, you take another one. Arizona's proven it.
Yep. Let's go to DC on a cell. DC, you want Jared Goff to play well?
Yeah, it's DC, but yeah, okay, I just want to make a point. I think you're forgetting that we have the Rams first pick. We asking the wrong question. Yeah, I want Jared Goff to play well because we have more than one pick next year. We have the Rams first pick. We want the Stafford stuff. We want the Rams and stuff. We don't have to be that bad to still make the changes we need. So let's say we do have a decent season. We almost make the playoffs or make a wild card or whatever. Okay, we know we're better than Jared Goff is obviously better than we thought, so that means we can get another piece with two picks next year. And if you want to take a chance on another quarterback for the future, you still can. We don't have to suck to still get the capital that people asking for. We took care of that. Brad Holmes took care of that this year, so we can actually try to win. We don't have to suck 5-12 or 6 or whatever. We can be decent and still get some of the capital because we took care of that last year. And we
In 1 mile,
money off the book.
turn left onto Northwestern Highway Frontage Road.
From that regime over with. So why do we have to suck? Why do we have to suck to still get the capital that we already took care of last year? When we made the trade for Stafford. That's what the trade was for.
Well, because if you play well, listen, if Stafford gets injured, then potentially the Rams pick could end up being very high. But I don't think the Rams are giving you a top 5 pick.
No, and I think what
that's the capital we're talking about, that very elusive 1, 2, 3 pick. You don't just get that from playing okay and hoping the other team plays poorly.
What you're saying is, though, you're taking all that out of the equation. You want them to be so bad, and for him to be the fall guy, that they get the choice of best QB.
Yes.
That's what you want. You just want to be done and over with. You want to move forward with young QB. I want to see if a guy who has been to a Super Bowl, who I think comps very favorably. I can't really tell you who I think the better quarterback is, but I personally believe he is better than Joe Flacco. And I would like to see maybe the attempt to build foundation in the trenches on both sides. Who wouldn't love to have a little bit of Baltimore Raven DNA in this town? This town would eat up a team like that, and they would accept a QB who has deficiencies, but can make big throws in big moments.
If you're as high on Goff or Goff's potential, you shouldn't want him playing a full quarter on Friday. You shouldn't want him playing big minutes in the preseason. See, that's why I don't care if he plays big minutes in the preseason.
Right.
Go ahead, roll your ankle, injure yourself. I don't want him to get injured, but if he does it really make that big of a difference for a team that's not making the playoffs anyway, for a team that's an underdog in 17 games? If Jared Goff gets hurt in the preseason, your season's not going anywhere anyway. It's why I'm not as bent out of shape about starters playing a full quarter on Friday. But if you're someone who actually believes in Goff, you should look at this news that he's going to play the full quarter on Friday as concerning, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's an interesting, the timing's everything, and we can talk about that after the update.
All right, 97.1.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Autozone
Odyssey Station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Tigers begin a 3-game set tonight at 38-72 Baltimore. The Tigers are up 54-60. First pitch 7:05 p.m. right here on The Ticket. Casey Mize going for Detroit. He's 6-6 with a 3.57 ERA. Keegan Aiken for the Orioles 0-5 and a 7.66. Despite all that, the Orioles still a minus 111 betting favorite. Lions' first preseason game Friday night against Buffalo. Head coach Dan Campbell says Tigers should play only about the first quarter. Lions making some moves, signing free agent corner Nickel Roby-Coleman. They also waived safety D'Angelo Amos-Coleman. He played with the Rams along with Aubrey Pleasant, who's the Lions defensive back coach from 2017 to 2019. He's best known for being the defensive back on the infamous blown pass interference call in the 2019 NFC title game. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson for more 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
I think we're on to something. We're talking about the Lions at a preseason game number 1 on Friday. You got news that the starters are playing. That's Goff, Hawkinson, the offensive line. They're playing a full quarter. Now, we saw last year without a preseason. Why not even? We see injuries every year in games with vanilla offense and vanilla defense. In games where you can't even guarantee you're going to get a 2-minute drill or a goal line offense or a red zone offense. I would say it's pretty reckless to play your starters a full quarter unless you're the Lions. And I'm giving them a pass because you got a new coach, a new scheme, and a roster of guys who aren't established. I'm not afraid of one injury sinking a season that I think is already sunk. Now, I'm a pessimist. I know many people are excited ahead of the season. Tom, you've asked for people rooting for Jared Goff. Do they want him to do well? If you're one of those people, you should look at the fact that he's playing preseason game number 1 for a full quarter as a negative, right?
Well, yeah, and I think part of this is just he's new. You work on the exchange with the center and all that
Stafford's
stuff.
not playing a single preseason. I know it always comes back to Stafford, but he's not playing a single preseason game. McVay said he never will as long as he's the coach.
I now side with that because of what happened last year. There was no preseason and NFL football looked normal. So I don't think it's necessary to do this. I get what Campbell's doing with the team that, you know, I'll tell you what right now, DeAndre Swift better not be in the field Friday.
If he's not going to practice this week and he hasn't...
Stay in the second
It's
place.
not just I know. I'm not doing it because I think he's a key to the future, hopefully. I'm not saying it's a lock, but I think it's a key. I was saying earlier, the timing of all this, the timing of this conversation right now is, I think, more
Use the
favorable
right two
to
lanes to
people
take
rooting
exit
for golf. And
14C
I
onto
want to clarify,
M39 and South
there's the 1%ers out there like Martin who called, who said, I want him to lose. I'll sit there during the game and root for him to lose. I don't think many people do
Take the
that,
exit.
but people do see the long-term ramifications of golf playing, quote, well, which is a slippery word with all this. But the timing, let's say we get to, and they have a tough start to the schedule, 0-5 is without a doubt on the table if things go a little south. And you could be sitting there 0-5, and now you've seen a month and a half's worth of college football. And a unicorn has developed. All of a sudden, my opinion's completely different.
If Goff is just a game manager and there's some guy popping off in college, you would love to have the number 1 pick.
In 14 miles,
Back with a
turn right
higher
onto
ceiling that
Pinecrest
can do
Drive.
things. Because I do think in LA they ran into this problem where Goff was good enough to get him to a Super Bowl on a rookie deal. When he got paid and the defense couldn't stay together, the offensive line got old, they ran into some problems with Jared Goff being a limited quarterback. Because he might be fine for a bridge a couple of years during the rebuild. I don't know that he's a guy you want to sink your teeth into and invest long term.
I think Houston is the only team who could be horrendous. Like,
they could go 17.
I don't think there's a team that will have a 1-win season like the Jags last year. It's very, very hard to do that. So all of a sudden, I think 3-14 will be the worst record in the NFL this year. And that's with the extra game. Just the odds are with one more game, when you're that bad, you're still going to win a game, you know? So if you start off going south like that, that's a tough situation for Campbell and Holmes because you don't want to get used to losing. There's no way that Dan Campbell's going to play along with the tank. No. And there's zero doubt last year that the Jags had no intention of winning another game once we got to about game 10.
And they knew it was on the line, yeah.
Versus the New York Jets did.
think this ticket texture has nailed it. He said, I don't think people are rooting for Goff. It's fans wanting Campbell to do well in this town. And I find myself in that lane, where I want Campbell to make a difference this year. I do want the team to play for him, play hard for him, to see real growth on defense, to see the real identity on offense, some physicality brought to this team. I want all that, and then I want Goff to be the fall guy. But I want to hear from Lions fans, 248-539-9797. We've got Ben hanging out in Lake Orion. Ben, you're on 97.1.
The next 4 or 5 years, be the committee and win a championship with the right pieces. But then the next 40, 50 years, the Lions history. That's all.
Well, it's Super Bowl bust.
I mean, I would take a Super Bowl. I mean, we've already had 40, 50 years of misery. Might as well get a Super Bowl out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the New York Rangers to a degree. You know, where they had the one cup in '94, and other than they haven't had one since '42. I mean, you still take that no matter what. Everybody would take that.
Let's go to Alex in Dearborn. Alex, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just wanted to say that I think, I think Jared Goff is going to do better than most people are predicting, with a solid offensive line and Sean McVay now has had about every other offensive scheme. And you have the right pieces, like we were talking about TJ Hawkinson and that DeAndre Swift in the backfield. I think it's going to have a more successful year than people are thinking.
What's more successful than people think? What does that look like? Because the over-under in Vegas is 5 wins. How much better than that do you think they're going to be?
Honestly, I'm expecting 7 wins, 6 wins maybe. We have a really tough schedule compared to what we had last year, and so I'm not shooting for the moon. But I want to see some movement. You know, I don't want to see a lot of turnovers. I want to see some touchdowns, red zone efficiency. That's really the numbers we got to be looking at this year. We can't be looking at only wins. We need to see that our offense is efficient, our defense is looking okay, so that next year in that draft, we can get the key players that we need.
Yeah, so the schedule is tough. They're going to cross over with the NFC West, what we were just talking about is loaded. They're going to play the AFC North, which had 3 playoff teams last year. They're going to play a schedule where, I know we like the O-line here in Detroit. You look at the teams that were top 10 in sacks a year ago, they're going to play 8 games against those teams. This is not an easy schedule for a first-year coach who had the league's worst defense and a brand-new quarterback.
I think
it's going to be tough.
I think maybe one of the reasons, I kind of thought it's one of the reasons, obviously it's a new regime and playing in preseason, but, you know, there's a familiarity from the 49ers, who's their first opponent, with Jared Goff, and the Lions want to get maybe a little bit more work because they know you got to be ready to go this game one. And then also defensively, my personal belief is there's no way they're as bad as last year.
I don't think so.
I think a lot of it was scheme. Am I saying that they're going to be a good defense? No, but I do think, if you get yourself to 15 to 20th in the league, which I think is a possibility, that's going to change your results immensely. They're going to try to control the ball, play action, limit possessions, and hide their weaknesses on their defense. And I think you're going to be able to tell game one just how good this team can be this year. I really do. I think that's you're going against arguably the best play caller in the league.
Kyle Shanahan, week 1, home game against the Niners.
He's going to want to come in, run the ball down our throat, and then he's going to want to use his gimmicky small receivers in space. And if the Lions can limit those opportunities, limit possessions, I think that's the way they want to try to do this. It's a very fine line winning that way if you don't have a really good defense.
Yeah, you're playing with fire a little bit. John on a cell. John, you're on 97 on the ticket. What do you think?
Terrible. I mean, we're going to have the help of the obviously general. I mean, that's the NFC anyway. So, I do want to be but I'm looking down the road of what's quarterback coming out the draft, trying to find stuff for so, I don't want to waste the time. Probably enough handout coming out in the next draft. Yep, it's for your stock up at 4th draft. Other stuff salary cap, but again, and then
Pats rooting not for Goff to do well, but the opposite.
That's interesting. If who's your QB next year, then
well,
potentially
again, because he's got 2 years fully guaranteed or nearly fully guaranteed, a significant financial investment in Goff, not just this year but next year. So in theory, you could play that game.
But then you're almost like in a kidney situation, where he's not the guy yet he's your starter again. Like that would be very because I think it was hard to make always say not necessarily take your QB. So you wouldn't have the hope of the new guy yet, and you're just trying to plodding along here, almost like I guess same thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick, where he's not the guy long term, but you're kind of just like, I think if he stinks and he's the scapegoat, I think it's going to really suck. Once we get into halfway through the year.
Season, to your point, it would take the air out of the season. There's a lot of excitement with the Lions in training camp and the preseason game this week. Pistons got the number 1 pick in Cade Cunningham. Tigers stacking winning months and a promise of spending in the future. Things starting to turn around. Iserman draft picks should skate this year for the Red Wings. There's a lot to be excited about. When will you know Detroit sports are back? I want to do that. We'll do it at 8:35. Heather's got the news. What do you got?
Well, there's a lot of excitement going on Jeopardy right now, and if you haven't been watching, you're missing out on some history. There's something pretty cool taking place, and I'll fill you guys in next.
97.1.
97.1, The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. It's accident-free on the drive this time around, just seeing some heavier traffic through the work zones, of course. 75 both directions approaching Big Beaver, also on 75 southbound between 14 and 12 Mile. And as you make your way out towards 275 northbound from Michigan Avenue to M1496. The COVID vaccine is safe, effective, and trusted by experts. Find yours at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine or call 211. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Tigers play the Baltimore Orioles. Pre-game tonight at 6:45 on 97.1, The Ticket.
Hey, Stoney here to tell you about what's going on at Taylor Chevrolet. Mark and the gang, Sean Rain, she's my sales lady. They do a great job. The whole Perkins family, great for you. The Chevy Open Road Sales Event. Make no payments for up to 120 days on most of Taylor Chevrolet's popular Chevrolet models with approved credit. Well-qualified buyers get up to 0% financing on select 21 SUV models when you finance through GM Financial at Taylor Chevrolet. See full details at TaylorChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Check out their certified pre-owned vehicles and find your quality used car at Taylor. High value does not have to come at a high price. Taylor Chevrolet will help you save on your next Chevy car or truck and will still pay top dollar for your trade. Easy financing, just a few clicks away. Good, bad, or no credit. The finance professionals at Taylor Chevrolet will work out the details. Apply now at helpgetalone.com. 100% of all applications are accepted. That's helpgetalone.com. Now Taylor Chevrolet, get to work for you. Taylor Chevrolet says yes.
The summer heats up, so do the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using bonus code TOMN1000, and your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $1,000. That's amazing. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in MLB, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. And when you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code TOMN1000 to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. There is no way Johnny in Mount Clemens is offering that. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. This is a new customer offer, paid in free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Okay, Michiganders, let's play Jeopardy! And the category is car donations. And the answer is, this car donation program is Michigan's largest and Detroit's oldest car program and has been helping the poorest of the poor for over 50 years. Okay, if you think you know the answer, get ready to call in. All right, the category was car donations, and the answer was, who is Michigan's largest car program, and where can you get a Blue Book value tax deduction for your car donation and have your car picked up for free and in a timely manner? If you answered, who is Mother Waddles, you win. So when it comes
just too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/AutoNavigator.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navient, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navient's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navient contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
The morning rush can be a beautiful thing. With the right granola bar, that is. Take a moment and take in the outdoors with Nature Valley Crunchy Bars.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
Coming up at 8:35, when will you know Detroit sports are back? We're starting to see some signs. Heather's got the news first.
I do. All right, so Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, he says he's iffy on whether or not he's going to get the COVID vaccine, despite having COVID already twice. So after Monday's practice, he was asked if he would get the vaccine, and his response was pretty simple. He said, you know what, it's a personal decision, and he's thinking about it.
The Ravens talked to you about getting vaccinated. Are you worried about getting it for the third time?
I mean, I just got off the COVID list, so, I got to talk to my team about this and, try to see how they feel about it, keep learning as much as I can about it, and we'll go from there.
So you might
We'll see. Talking to the doctors. We'll see.
So here's the thing. He's had it a couple times and isn't afraid of getting it, but there are ramifications in terms of his playing time and spreading it to his teammates, where it's one of the same thing with Kirk Cousins. You can make your choice, but it doesn't mean it's free of consequences. Right. It could cause him to miss a big game this year. You could get it again.
Well, because he missed a game last year when he tested positive. He's missed 10 days of training camp due to COVID this year. So he is missing out on games. And if he gets it again, I can't. And it sounds like he got it really bad. He says he wouldn't wish this upon anybody, the way he had COVID.
He actually, the game he missed last year was the game in Pittsburgh that got all moved around. Remember, that was the Wednesday afternoon game. And I believe that had a significant impact on how the playoff seeding ended up playing out. Because that's when Pittsburgh started to play bad. Remember, they started 11-0. I think that might have been their 11th win. But they could have finished completely different in the standings, potentially, had they won.
You guys, have you been watching Jeopardy?
Not particularly.
Not really,
I've been watching kind of what's been going on about, but it doesn't really work in our house at that time.
Yeah, I haven't watched it as much as I used to watch it, I'll tell you that for sure, but there's something pretty amazing going on right now. Some history is being made. Currently, this contestant, the one that's kind of annoying everybody by the way he answers questions, Matt Amodio, he is on a winning streak, and he is actually now the 4th highest grossing player in the game's history. He just won his 14th game in a row on Monday, and he's earned $440,000. He is on this amazing winning streak. So he still has a long way to go if he's going to unseat, the big first place winner, Ken Jennings. He had a winning streak that consisted of 74 games and over $2.5 million in total winnings. So he's far from that, but he is still doing some amazing things. And he has one achievement that no other player or contestant has ever had in the history of Jeopardy, and that's the fact that his winning streak has taken him through 4 different hosts. And obviously this is a unique situation because of what's going on, but he got his start under Robin Roberts, and then he went all the way through LeVar Burton and David David Faber's run, and now he just started Monday's episode with Joe Buck. So he has seen 4 different hosts, which is pretty incredible.
How's Joe Buck doing? I was going to say, who's going to get the hosting job? Any lead on that?
Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
Oh, the front runner, and it sounds like who is going to get the job is executive producer Mike Richards. He apparently is in negotiations already with Sony Television.
You know what? I thought he did good. Nobody's going to be Alice Trebek.
No.
Nobody probably knows the show better than him, to be honest, you know? I can kind of, that's my role here at the station.
Yeah.
You know, and
He did. Stoney loved Mike Richards. He thought that was his number one pick. I was not a huge...
Well, Stoney's the demo, so it's fine.
Yes, exactly.
I'd pay for Stoney to... I would charity. Let's get a charity.
To have him host Jeopardy, it would be phenomenal. It would be a long, long show. There's no way it would be done in a half hour.
This man is the 4th highest growing contestant ever.
It would
and then
be
that guy would answer, what is Matamodio or whatever he says.
Exactly. What's Matamodio? Yes. But yeah, speaking of Mike Richards, he is now actually denying some recently resurfaced allegations against him. Apparently, he once discriminated against a pregnant model when he was an exec on The Price is Right. He was actually named in 2 prior post-discrimination lawsuits. And he is saying, whoa, the claims in this lawsuit came out of employment disputes, and they don't actually reflect the reality of who he really is. And but that's what he's accused of. He's accused of making some insensitive comments about pregnant models. So everyone, this just came out right after it was announced that he was like this front runner to host the show. So he
cancel culture, here they come.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It's like a big truck like backing in and it's beeping. Here they come.
Like who does that? That they go through and search through everything. And this is different. The lawsuits, that's a little easier to find than searching through somebody's past social media posts and digging up things like that. This is a little bit more probably public with the lawsuits, but he wrote this big memo to staff and just kind of said, you know what, this is nothing I would ever do. He says he's always been very supportive of colleagues who are pregnant, and he also says he hasn't made a final decision yet on whether he will take the hosting position or not. So
hard to follow a legend.
Very hard. Very, 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 very much so, without a doubt. Hey, Dave Chappelle, he is extending his stay in Detroit, and he plans to put the Motor City shows into the Netflix spotlight. This is pretty cool. So he's at